The rain was falling non-stop. The yellow lights from the street lamps shimmered on the wet asphalt. The city was almost completely silent. It was 2:13 a.m. Aaron pulled his black hood further over his face and scanned the empty street. The voice coming through his earpiece was low, but very clear. "Aaron, only 50 meters to the target building." Aaron nodded slightly. "Understood." The building in front of him looked like an old abandoned warehouse from the outside. Its windows were swallowed by darkness, but he could sense that someone was inside. The mission was actually quite simple. He would go in, grab the chip, and no one would see him. But things rarely went as smoothly as planned. Aaron reached the back door of the building. He took a small electronic device from his pocket and placed it on the lock. Click. The door opened. Inside, it was sharply cold and intensely dark. Rusted metal shelves and scattered boxes filled the entire warehouse. Aaron moved forward carefully, taking silent steps. Just as he turned the corner, a sound reached his ears. "Hey! Did you hear something?" Aaron froze. Two men were patrolling inside the warehouse. Aaron moved silently and carefully through the shelves. The darkness and shadows were his greatest allies. The first man turned his back, and Aaron quickly approached, taking him down. The man didn't even have time to react. But the second man turned around at that moment. "Hey!" He raised his gun. Bang! The bullet hit a shelf. Aaron slid to the ground for cover and fired back. Bang! Bang! The warehouse suddenly echoed with gunfire. "There's someone inside!" shouted the man. The lights upstairs suddenly turned on, illuminating the space. Aaron cursed under his breath. The operation was no longer silent. 3 more men ran down the stairs. Aaron took a small smoke grenade from his pocket and threw it on the floor. Psh! Thick gray smoke filled the warehouse. Aaron moved swiftly through the dense smoke. He grabbed the first man by the shoulder and slammed him to the ground. The second man fired immediately, but his bullets only hit the shelves, scattering metal fragments everywhere. Aaron ran toward the stairs. Upstairs, there was a small office. He knew the file was there. He kicked the door open forcefully. Inside were computers, monitors, and a locked metal safe. Aaron approached the safe and took his device out of his pocket again. At that moment, he heard footsteps approaching from behind. "Hurry," he whispered. He unlocked it. When he opened the safe, he saw a small metal data chip inside. Just as he grabbed the chip, the door suddenly burst open. 2 men rushed inside. Aaron pointed toward the window. This must be the way out. He ran. He smashed through the window and jumped outside. Rain hit his face. He rolled on the ground and stood up. At the corner of the street, a black car was waiting. Laura was behind the wheel. She opened the door. "You're late." Aaron jumped into Laura's car. "You'll thank me for this." Laura pressed the gas pedal. At that moment, 3 black SUVs entered the street. Their headlights cut through the night. "They found us," said Laura. The car sped forward. The engine roared. The SUVs chased them. Bullets hit the metal at the back of the car. Tang, tang. Aaron fired from the rear window. "Turn right." Laura quickly turned the steering wheel. The car entered a narrow street, and the tires skidded on the asphalt. One SUV lost control and crashed into a wall, but 2 vehicles were still on their tail. Laura smiled slightly. "Got a plan?" Aaron placed the chip in his pocket, answering calmly. "Yes." He looked at the bridge ahead. "Draw them onto the bridge." As the SUVs approached rapidly, the car drove onto the bridge. Right in the middle, Aaron pressed a button in the trunk. A small metal device fell from the car's back. One SUV ran over it. Boom! The explosion shook the bridge. One SUV was thrown aside. The other slammed on the brakes. But it was too late. Lara drove the car quickly off the bridge. Behind them, only rain and silence remained. Aaron leaned back in his seat. Lara looked at him. So, what's on the chip? Aaron examined the chip in his palm. I don't know, he said after a short pause. Then he smiled faintly. But some people in the world will do anything to get it back. The car disappeared rapidly into the dark city, and the story, it was only just beginning.